we'll be stepping back into some military history, looking at the final evolution of the British SMLE rifle, the number 4 Mark I. This rifle served all the British Commonwealth forces from World War II and beyond, weighing in at 9 pounds with an effective killing range of 600 yards, a muzzle velocity of 2,440 feet per second, with bullet weights from 123 to 215 grains. It's capable of 2 to 3 inch groups even with open sights, and even better if you have a scoped model, the number 4 Mark 1T sniper rifle. During World War II, there were 5 manufacturers of this rifle. We had BSA Shirley, Maltby, Fazakerley, Long Branch out of Ontario, Canada, and Savage out of the US, with a total production of 4 million of these made. What made this rifle superior to all the other SMLEs was it had a magazine capacity of 10 rounds, while all the others had 5. It also cocks on closing, making it slick, making it fast, making it rugged, and making it dependable. This rifle is a must for every gun collector and deer hunter out there. A true classic of military history. Okay, so now another thing that makes this rifle really neat were the stripper clips. And you notice on this that they're angled so that all the rims are facing forward of each other. So it makes your manipulation of your bolt a lot smoother and slicker. Now, not to say if they weren't this way, it would have to cam over every round and it would cycle, but it would make your action a lot more less smooth. So all you would do is place a 5-round stripper on, press it down, take the second stripper, put it on, press it down. Because like I said earlier in a video, this thing had a magazine capacity of 10, and you could even stick one more in the chamber, so 10 plus 1. Now, the British, if you do some research on this, they have a thing they call the Mad Minute. A trained British rifleman could shoot between 20 to 30 shots per minute. And the idea was your thumb and forefinger was on the bolt, you'd close it, and take your middle finger right down here by the trigger, fire. If you were trained and you worked on it, you could deliver 20 to 30 rounds in a minute. They call it the Mad Minute. Typical cotton web sling. And now we're going to talk about some of the bayonets.
Now that sling is original.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything here is original.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now, the first bayonet on the number 1 Mark III, it was a big long bayonet that hung out the front. What they ended up doing was they took an 8-inch spike. Because when you're in a war, you don't have the time to fool around with high quality machining and finishing. Just an 8-inch spike, and it went on and attached in the front like this, okay? And this was the first version of the bayonet. As the years went on, it went through 9 progressions up into the number 9 bayonet, which was a Bowie style or a clip point. Now, another neat accessory I picked up, this carrying case, we're going to show it to you. When you get deployed overseas, you could get this carry case, and it had a strap on the back to sling over your shoulder. You don't see many of these around. All original. And here's another interesting note about these British rifles. The magazine stays. You wouldn't carry in battle 3 or 4 or half a dozen magazines. The magazine always stayed, and it was always charged with these stripper clips, okay? So the thing is a super shooter, very little recoil, and power-wise, it's just a little bit under our 308 NATO. So where this rifle takes over, it took over the Lee Enfield, the Lee Metford, then we went to the SMLE, and then it was surpassed later on by the SLR, or you might know it as the FEL, and then when the British went to the SA-80. So John's going to take it out. We're going to try to do a doe hunt with it. I might try to do a doe hunt with it. Now another neat feature, this has a 2-position flip sight. This sight will take you from 0 to 300 yards. If you flipped it back, 0 to 600 yards. 2-position sight, very effective. Here's the safety. That's safe. That's fire. The early ones had a nice brass butt plate. Other ones had pot metal and sometimes aluminum. And when you would flip up this little trap door, you had your cleaning rod, your brush, and your swab to clean the rifle. Because back then, they used cordite, which was corrosive. Originally, this cartridge, when it was made in 1888, it was a black powder cartridge. Then they later went to cordite, and then today we load it with modern smokeless powders. You'll notice on the very end of the barrel, you can see 2 lugs. That's where the bayonet attached. Because somebody will do that. On frame 16, you'll notice that there was no lead tip on that bullet. You know, I've seen that, remember?
Yeah.
Some people notice that stuff.
That's the bolts we're gonna use right there.
Leave it on here. Okay.
So this is what Ron brings every year. Ron always brings chili to camp. He's got a whole cooler full of chili, some other stuff. Kind of a tradition. Just getting here to camp. Everybody will be down later. Are you ready?
I can't wait. It's going to be a perfect scenario. There's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
It's cold. There isn't much wind. It'll be great for tracking, great for blood trail, and it's so cold that you don't have to skin out your deer. If you get them on Saturday, you could just let them hang and freeze out for a couple days. So we lucked out. It's perfect conditions.
Yep. So we're gonna go up, see some of the guys at camp before it gets dark. We're gonna see the Nugents first.
Yeah, this toilet flapper is missing the centerpiece.
Hey!
Ho, ho, ho!
Oh, what's up, guys? Oh, I really thought you were my guys. We're cleaning. You talking
I know. He said that you're making him throw stuff away. You don't really want to throw away, probably.
Yeah, well, that is true. Because every closet in this place acquires an ignorant amount of junk. So we're getting rid of it, and
in fact, that's why you guys are here, right? You brought boxes
Yeah.
of junk to put in the closet here?
How's it going, Luke?
Peachy.
Ready?
I can feel the buck running.
All right, man, that's what I want to hear.
You're dressed up like Mickey Mouse.
You know where they're running. They're running right to my stand.
Not to your
Where's,
stand. They're gonna go right past your
Sweeney?
stand and
No
go
Sweeney?
hang out by
he'll
mine.
be up.
He'll be up.
Sweeney won't be up till later.
business.
Yeah, let me give me a cookie. Greg's wife's favorite peanut butter cookies.
You want one, Ron?
Thanks, but no thanks.
I'll straighten you right out.
Yeah, but John,
They are good.
that buck.
She makes
Tell
a
her,
mean
tell her
cookie.
they are very good.
I will. She makes a mean cookie.
Yes, she does. Oh no!
I
Oh
figured oh,
no!
he's got face paint. Jeez, you're already set up.
He's already got his.
What in the world?
This was my son's doing this morning. We already had to make my house. It's like that.
happening?
Hey!
How's
How's it going?
Ready to go?
Nice.
It's gonna be cold.
We were just getting ready to leave to come up there. Is your dad up there?
Yeah, he's the one. But I figured that was gonna happen because you said 5. I'm like, Johnny's not here yet. He's probably down here. We'll just come
Yeah.
down and we're not doing it. We're just
Well, I'm
watching
glad you come down.
the Chiefs Raiders going on. That's about all that's happening.
Yeah, that's
He's
not
getting
exciting.
probably not.
Well, we're all up here at the Nugent's camp. Pretty good time to crack open celebratory whiskey bottle. We got some fine bottle of scotch here, Cask Frank. Shout out to Craig in Scotland for the bottle. We're gonna open this up. Have a taste. What do you say, Andrew? Are you ready for opening day?
Oh, it's gonna be cold tomorrow.
My dad
How are you
has
gonna be in your deer shanty?
No, I'm putting my dad in there
Yeah.
because he wouldn't make it otherwise. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out there.
I'm
I'll get my
It's not.
Are you hunting? You're hunting too? Yeah. Are you shooting the first thing that comes out? You'll find out.
We're all kind of British
Craig?
stuff this time. We got British Enfield rifles.
Yeah. Drinking some scotch. Yeah. That's all what this video is about.
That's just like
Cheers. That's good.
Oh yeah, memories of Bub. He always gave me a shot.
Oh yeah. Yep. And his
Always
grandpa.
be pounding the scotch and whiskey and bourbon or wherever he can get his hands on.
Yeah, anything.
It didn't really matter.
It didn't matter to him.
If it was brown, he put it down.
Yep.
Let's talk about what we're gonna use. So what are you using tomorrow, Ron?
I'll be using a 30-06 303 Brit.
I have a 1959 model Remington 760 Game Master 30-06.
Greg?
I'm shooting a Remington 30-06 bolt action.
I got a 243, a really old 243. It was my great grandfather's.
Nice.
Tika T3 Superlight 308 core lock 180 grain bullets. These two are out.
My dad's shooting odd 6. I'm not shooting nothing.
And Corey's the cook. He's the camp cook.
Camp Cook Corey!
Oh my, look who just came in the door.
I'm early! Hi, everybody.
Plenty of time.
And there he goes.
You go to Thanksgiving today?
Yeah.
That's a nice hat you got there. Why don't
You
you,
know
show,
what?
why don't you show
Mama
Blair
lies.
that hat?
This is a real outfitter's hat.
Zooming in here. Your
That's the Tin Can Outfitters.
Vertipalooza.
Vertipalooza.
Which
Yeah.
didn't come in on time. Yeah. Yeah.
They put out a bunch of pheasants.
They were late.
They put out a bunch of pheasants to hunt, and they were gonna have their own little party, and they got their hats made, and they came in late after the
I had
hunt.
Ryan over there. Yeah, he's coming in.
Johnny, here he comes.
The legend,
man.
the man, the myth, the legend. The original Tin Can outfitter.
There he is.
There he is.
And the man's in the house.
The OG.
Lieutenant Dan.
All right, everybody good.
Yeah. We can start now. We can start looking out the window from the Nugent camp. If you look way down there, you can see our camp. There you can see the orange sign through the woods.
So the Erie Shore has 2 feet.
That's how close the Nugent camp.
That's what we want.
Yeah. Snow.
I just
Snow.
talked to Joe. The Erie Shore is 2 feet. They're saying they're going to get 5 to 6 feet by Wednesday. Because this front, what you're seeing here,
Yeah. They're
we
getting the
got
lake
15
effect
days
snow.
of this.
Yeah.
This pushed down. It won't push out. The whole
Nice.
deer season's going to be like tomorrow morning here. Tomorrow morning here.
Yeah. 14.
Degrees.
Yeah.
14 degrees with a 15, close to 15 mile an hour wind out of the north.
0.
Yeah.
Enjoy your huts.
Be
gentlemen.
ready. Be ready.
Enjoy your
Yeah.
huts. I'll be
Yeah.
strapped to a tree.
Walked up. No, I didn't hunt from the road. I walked across the road. I laid down on the ditch and shot the buck right like 80 yards up in this field. So it
Damn.
wasn't skyline.
You want
I was safe.
Yeah.
Because
We were
then.
all like, no way you shot a buck. And then you're like, yeah, it's on the back deck. And we were like,
Oh, that's right. I couldn't get it into my truck. When we come
We're
up bird
talking
hunting,
about
if someone
hats.
doesn't have an orange
Got
hat,
a classic
they have
Costas
to wear-
1992.
The 92.
Ben's wore one of those like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
those are some warm orange hats. Like those aren't. Like, that's like.
They're that foam.
Yeah, it's like an insulated hat.
We got some hats made. Stay tuned. We got hats, and we're working on some hoodies too. Things are in the works. Not gonna be in time for deer season, but soon. So keep an eye out. All right, guys. Good luck tomorrow. Where'd Sweeney go?
Good luck to
Don't worry
everybody.
about it.
He's all upset that I told him that you were getting that
That's
camera.
my camera now.
He's back there crying. So.
the camera, he got mad.
All right. Let us know if you get any big ones.
Have a good one, guys.
All right. We'll see you.
See you around.
Luke.
Yeah,
We'll see you tomorrow.
you, buddy.
Sometimes if you shoot one, let me know.
I will. See you, buddy.
Later.
Camaraderie. That's a big part of deer hunting. It's all about this too. Day before, that night, and after. It's all about. That's what
Yeah.
this is all about in Western PA.
Getting everything ready. All the food. All right.
Our second camp of the day.
All right, I gotta go. Time crunch, but I'll be back here in the morning. Opening day. Ron
Good morning.
is ready.
The celebration continues.
Yeah. What are we eating? Same pancake, sausage, eggs, coffee. It is super crispy outside with that cold.
It's everything a hunter wanted.
Yeah.
Snow on the ground, cold, no wind, and we got coffee, pancake, sausage, eggs,
Nice.
better than Denny's.
Yeah. Taking ham and cheese sandwiches out. Robbie's here. He's ready. Got the hat. You got your big buck contest ticket?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Where's this year's at?
One.
There it is.
Front and center.
Ham. Yeah, ham, mustard,
Yeah.
cheese.
Get my hand warmers ready. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a cold one out
Oh, I
there.
know.
Kian, you going out?
Ron had to make sure.
There it is. The famous Christmas tree cookies.
You gonna want one of these, Ken? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Getting all these hand warmers all out here, and I noticed something. Oh, remember when? For those who know, I doubt this thing works, but you know how old this thing is. It's the big one from what Dad hit
Could take that.
2022. He's still out there. I found his shed from last year, and he's bigger this year. So this one is still out there.
This is the 25th silver anniversary of this camp. It started in 2000, and here we are 2024. Okay, it's the 25th silver anniversary. So it's kind of special.
Rod. There's no cup for this. Do they want one more bag? They never take them all back before. They just stick it down in their backpack.
My grandfather, who built this camp and owned the property, passed away in 2021, but he was a Pennsylvania legendary oil man. Here's an award that he got. These
Anybody
are
want
wooden
water?
sucker rods
John,
that
you want
were
to
usually
drink?
used in pump jacks before. They were just capped with metal and wood on the inside. And so
How many?
it's all dedicated to him. So my grandfather was really active in working to protect the small independent oil producers, natural gas producers here in Western Pennsylvania. He really started the fracking boom when he got with some guys from Mount Jewett, come down into Clarendon County to open hole frack a gas well, started the entire fracking boom all in Western Pennsylvania in the early 90s. So that was my grandfather's legacy and was acknowledged for his work in protecting our small stuff from the people that just want to regulate us out of business. So you got the shirt. Yeah. I got mine on too. So we're ready to go. The traditional
25 years,
shirts.
baby.
Yeah. And Ravi's got his hat.
John, did you have a...
Wool is probably one of the best insulators that there ever was. It can be wet and still keep you warm. So I took a mitten, cut off the fingertips, and I'm going to put this into this glove. And I have a hole here for my trigger finger. Then I'll have a hot pat right there. Keep your hands warm, because what is it? You lose your most heat from your head, your chest, your toes, and your hands. So
Yep.
keep them warm. You're going to be all right.
Yep.
All right, hands up.
Ken decided he's gonna go, so we bundled them all up, and we'll see how long he lasts. At least he's gonna go for a little bit. They're gonna have the truck nearby to warm up if he needs to go get
You want
warm.
some
But
hand warmers, Rob?
yeah, I'm sure you got lots of them. He's ready to go. Hey Ken, look here. You ready?
There, grab some hand warmers.
Yeah.
First time going out.
Yeah. He's gonna watch. He's just gonna watch. He's not shooting. He's just watching.
It was a
Yeah.
last minute thought.
Last minute.
Hey, does he need some,
He says, I'm feeling good enough, I don't want to go. We're ready to go.
It is time. That special time of year. It comes but once a year. Let's go do it.
All right, we're ready to go. Ready to
Should
go.
have about 10-15 minutes before daylight. We're
Yeah.
moving into position. Got all our gear, our hand warmers. It's a go.
All right. In the stand, got the buddy heater going, getting all nice and warm. The clouds rolled in. As long as we don't get a lot of wind, guys will stay in the woods a little bit longer, because the real feel is like 13 degrees. And I got my 7mm mag for second round, and gonna start off using the British 303, Ron's gun. And then I got another gun that's really special, a very special gun. And if I whack 2 doe with that today, it'll be round 3. So you'll be able to see that later on. So we're just gonna have to see how things go with that. What kind of hunting season would be if you didn't have these in the stand? So perfect time to start decorating for Christmas. ready to go. I haven't earned a shot yet. The shooting has commenced. Trust me when I say this. I do not like hunting in a shanty. I don't. It is very convenient for filming. I prefer to be on the ground, walking around, which is what my brother's doing. That deer came out way up there. Looked like a big doe. So there's very little shooting this year. Most of the shooting that I have heard was far away. I'd say the closest shot was maybe a half-mile away. No shots out in front of us. They're probably just holding tight. It's just really going to be until this cold weather's going to stay. They're going to get up, they're going to move, maybe get some more feed, or guys get cold, start walking around and start pushing some deer. So that is basically what I'm hoping for. I mean, really, it's hard with the camera to hurry up, get the camera on, and get those deer to stand still on the road. It's a little easier if they come out this window on this side. Antler restrictions. Where we're at, 3 up. You cannot count the brow tine. Has 3 points on the side, you cannot count the brow tine. Now, in other parts of the state, it's 3 points no matter what. You can count the brow tine, but not here. You cannot count the brow tine. 3 up. And that rule has made Pennsylvania.
Coming right down toward you, dropping, keying off, and then instead of driving back up past you guys, I'm just gonna woods hunt until after lunch.
All right, 10-4. So it's made Pennsylvania become almost a big buck state. So you got a lot of people that are holding out for a buck, and they hold on to that doe tag to the last minute. And you know, unless they kill a buck, then they'll shoot a doe. But a lot of times they get their buck and they're like, you know, I'll go out in muzzleloader season or whatever, and they still don't fill their tags. There's a lot of people that just don't want to shoot the doe. Here comes Rob in the truck. He's gonna take Cam back. So
5 doe.
5 doe?
Yeah.
I saw 2 turkeys and 1 doe. The 2 turkeys just crossed the road right before you came down. Yep. So that's it. You saw more deer than I did. Well, go back to camp and get warm. Okay. Yep. He's had a better morning than I have, and he's not even hunting. He's just wanting to go. So that's okay. Driving by, you know, a lot of people, oh, it's gonna mess up your hunt. Well, I'll tell you what, we've been up and down this road all through muzzleloader season. My cousin's been up and down this road bear season, and you know, these are gas well roads, so we check gas wells on them all the time. So I really don't think it's gonna hurt that much having a truck go down by, even though it kind of doesn't feel right during rifle season, but I'm not too worried about it because it doesn't seem like there's nothing right here in the vicinity of where I'm at. So he's not going to drive back up through here. He's going to stay camping and take the long hike up through the hill and hunt his way up to this deer stand and keep warm a little bit that way. But that might push some deer too. So Ron's wife brings up cookies, usually oatmeal and chocolate chip. So also another opening day tradition is eating one of Ron's wife's cookies. And more coffee. On that hillside over there was a monster staying all year. During the rut, it traveled about a mile from where I'm at now, and a local guy shot it. It was huge, and I've only heard about it. It never came onto this property, never knew of it being on this property, but it just kind of, just on that hillside was its
one part of its border, of its territory. And that thing was, I think it scored 174 gross. It was huge. So, and we still have the big buck that my dad hit, that I find the sheds from. I mean, he's staying within this 1.5 miles on this side. So I'm like right in between where these two big bucks are being seen. And as far as I know, I don't know of him being in these pines. Now, he's been up on the hill where Dad shot at him, but ever since then, I haven't had any trail camera pictures of him. But then again, he seems to elude my trail cameras too a lot of the times. Unless somebody really, really pushes. Oh, we got a deer coming out. Oh, it's a buck. I ain't shooting that. Oh, that's a nice one. Nice heavy heat. I'm gonna let him go. That's a nice one. I don't pass too many of those. That's a nice buck. I don't pass too many of those up. Maybe over the past couple years, maybe 3 I can think of in the past. I don't know. Since I've been hunting, I've only passed maybe 2 or 3 up that are like that size, and that might have been one of the biggest. Yeah, that was a really nice heavy 8-point. I may have him on trail camera, but I'm not sure because there's a couple. Here comes another deer. Let's see what we got. You gotta be ready if it's a doe. It is. Was a poke. Whew. Wow, my heart was already pounding when that buck come out. And there was more deer. I don't know what the camera picked up, but there was more deer coming, and they were kind of in front of each other, so it's just like, hurry up. And when I put that sight on that deer, it took up the whole deer. Like, the sight took up the entire deer. And this is the first time I ever shot this gun. This British 303. First time I ever shot it. And that is it. I got to remember how far that is, because that's over 100 yards up there. You know, people go, I can't believe you passed up a buck like that to shoot a doe. Why would you do that? And, you know, it's like, hey, you know, I got a pile of doe tags, and I need the doe shot off. I don't need the buck shot off. I need the does shot off, because you take out the does, that lowers the population faster than just shooting the bucks. And we're going to be logging this entire property, so I want the deer down, so I want to shoot doe. I just shot a doe.
Roger that.
And I picked out a doe that was out in the open and dropped her.
10 minutes ago, I put the window down. I was looking out the
Here comes a
glass
deer.
here. One crossed all by itself, and he had his head up. I think it was a buck, but I didn't through there by the time I got it open, he went across. I'm thinking it was a buck, but nothing huge where you can see it.
Okay, well, I got more deer coming. Might shoot another one. Alright. My 7mm mag. I just saw a doe out this window and it come right up in here. So, was, and it looked like it was all by itself. But it come running out this road and came up in here, so be ready. It's 9:02 right now, so I said I usually don't see deer till 9 or after, but just a hair before 9, so I'd say that was probably 10 till 9 is when I shot that. Was a poke. Little button buck. I was literally getting ready to walk out of this stand and I heard something. I'm like, what is underneath my stand? I looked out, it's right here. Oh, good sized doe. I thought it was a small one, but it's big. Good sized one. Where did I hit it? Oh man. Well, I can't tell if that's inland. Oh, I spined it. Man, that thing died pretty quick. I bet I hit that femoral artery. I mean, you can only ask for so much when you're, I mean, imagine there's the shanty having a sight that covers up the whole deer. I mean, I think this is, it's definitely over 100 yards. I think it might be 125 or something like that. So, yeah, hopefully the way it's laying, I don't know, maybe it went underneath the spine, I don't know. Maybe it shocked the spine, dropped it, and hit that femoral artery, and it bled out because it was done kicking pretty quick after I shot it. So, all right, I'm gonna get this videoed and then we'll get it gutted. There it is, 2024 doe number 1 with the British Lee Enfield 303. Awesome spine shot, but she died pretty quick, so I'm pretty happy. Big old doe. Hopefully we can get another one. I'm gonna get this gutted, get back in the stand, see if we can get some more. I've been in the works of developing my own knife, my own gutting knife. Some help with my cousin in China, so he's helping me do some prototyping, and so I've already gutted 2 deer with this thing, and it is absolutely awesome. It's the best knife that I've ever used, and so it's designed exactly for the shape, handle, length, everything the way I want it. It's got an extra special feature on it, but I am ready to get to work and get this maybe on the market someday. It's pretty cool, so let's go. Well, I got the deer gutted and back in the stand. I got some damage with that, maybe a little bit of meat damage. It just hit the bottom of the back bone. So it shocked that spine. I don't know how much it blew up into the back strap, but I mean, the backbone is broke, but it looked like it was low enough that it probably cut that femoral artery because the whole deer.
Bald Eagle, I did bring the rangefinder, and then the top of the hill is 205 yards.
And now that's pretty good poke out there. And so definitely femoral artery. That's why that deer died so quick. It was just like shooting it in the heart, except I got a little bit of damage. So I don't know. There may not be that much damage to the meat. It's just until you get the hide off and see how much shock and shock damage you have to that back strap there in the middle. Really is gonna find out how much damage you got. I mean, when you're looking at that from way out there, it covers it up pretty good. Okay, we got a little buck chasing a doe. Surely they're gonna come out up here. No, don't come out way up there. Too far. Oh, there's some more deer. More deer coming out this window. And they're going back up this way.
Man!
8 deer so far, I think. 2 turkeys. 1 legal buck. Not bad, but normally we figure 20 deer for a day, like on opening day is a good average number. Update, those guys were just talking on the walkie-talkies. Ron shot a doe. He saw a huge illegal 6-point. Like I just discussed about the antler restrictions, so it was just had the brow tines and just 2 big giant forks. We saw it last year, this year, and I'm not worried about saying, a lot of people go, you got to get them big old spikes and them big old 6 points because all they breed is more 6 points. No, 50% of the genetics come from the doe, so it could have been a doe that gave that buck the bad genes. So there's people who think that they can control genetics. They're just fighting against the wind. You cannot control genetics. What you can control, letting them get bigger. What you can control, helping them get bigger with food by like managing your property for maximum amount of food. Plus, oh, deer. Okay. It looked like a little one, but we'll see. It was running, so maybe it's getting chased. Oh, there's that buck. Yep. Alright, well, we'll see if it comes down here below us. Well, Ron's coming to get warm.
206, and I just finished dragging my big mama doe, one of the biggest does I ever shot out.
No kidding,
she was
boss.
way down deep over fallen trees, so I had a heck of a dragging out. But I told Johnny, I said, I keep count, 29 doe, a 4-point and a 6-point that was massive, but it wasn't shootable, so I had to let it go. This thing's coming at me 40 yards away. I see the antlers well beyond the ears. I'm saying, oh my God, here it comes. So then it quarters after about 5 more yards, and I see fork horn, brow, brow. Had to let it go. But legitimately, 29 doe from sunrise to 2 o'clock. They were everywhere. And the majority of them were young doe. You'd see like 4 or 5 young doe and a mama doe. You know, they were young doe. So here we are, probably going to stay here till sundown.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And see what comes around. So I got that mama doe. Johnny got one with his 303 Brit.
Yeah, yours.
my 303 Brit, but I'm proud of that.
Right
so
before you got here, a doe crossed the road and ran
50 yard shot?
No, as far as you could see up that road.
Wow, good, dead on.
You can see the gut pile.
Okay.
It's as far as you can see. It's kind of on the road.
I do see it now.
But right before you got here, there was a doe, small one, ran across the road, ran up in the pines, but it didn't come my way. But I haven't seen a deer since maybe 11:30.
Yeah, well, this is the time of day that we call the deer doldrums. They just aren't moving right now.
Yeah.
So people are back at camp.
Where did all the deer that you saw go?
What's that?
Where did all the deer that you saw go?
Oh, okay. You know, if I'm sitting in my tree stand, they're all coming from
your
below
left.
my left.
Yeah.
They go halfway up the hill towards the tram road. Half of them break to Robbie's stand, and the other ones go up to the tram road and cut across the tram
Really?
road. Yeah.
None of them stayed behind you in the woods?
Yep. Out of that.
They all just went up high. No kidding. Well, then that means, see, I saw there was a good amount of doe that were as far as I could see up there. That means either one of two things. Either those deer are between me and Dad, laying in the hillside up there, staying out of the wind, and they haven't come around here, because as far as I can see up there, and then Dad can see almost to where I can barely stop seeing. There's a little gap, but that's where the rock pit is, and they can't jump down off that high wall to go around that rock pit. So I don't know.
I'm thinking they get up there on that tram road, and then they cut behind Big John up in that flat up in that hill, and then from there I don't know where they go because I lose sight of them.
Did you see Robbie or Kale at all?
No.
Because Robbie was up in the morning. He saw 5 come down with Ken, then went back up in the afternoon. He was going to walk up by himself earlier, but I don't know if he did. And I don't know if Kale took a walkie-talkie. So
he said he was with Ken, and then they went back to camp. I heard him say he warmed up, and then they went for a walk. And then that's the last I heard of him.
Yep. But I could have shot another doe. There's another doe that crossed maybe 50 to 70 yards out in the middle of the road. But they come up here and I wasn't ready, because I thought, they just kept running up as far as I could see and just crossing as far as I could see up there. And I don't know why. There's no good trail up there. It's just that, I don't know, it's like they know. But there's not very much shooting this year.
But still, no matter what, I mean, to see 29 doe, 2 buck, it was fantastic.
I saw a big 8. He was a real nice 8. And then a little small, 3, 4, 5 point, I don't know what it is. He was chasing a doe around. And the 4 doe were following the buck. The buck came out first. And then here comes a doe, 2, 3, 4 doe. And the first doe that gave me a broadside shot, boom, dropped her right in her tracks right on the road, spined it.
Did you even see a shootable one today?
The buck?
Yeah.
No. I mean, that 8 point that I passed up, he's one of the
passed up on an 8 point.
He's one of the nicest 8 points ever passed up.
Hawk?
There, the big hawk is.
Red kill?
Yep. He's going to town on that gut pile.
Yep.
A couple doe coming out.
That's a buck. No.
Nope. Big doe. That big doe steps out a couple steps. I'm going to take her. She's looking at that hawk. that doe. I've seen that doe. She's got a big spot on the back, like a wound on her back. She has a wound on her back. I've seen that deer. She's an old deer. She's an old deer.
Here they come. Here they come.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it. Oh, come on. She walked back. They want to cross right there. See if they come back. See how they're crossing?
Yeah.
There goes a buck. There's a half rack. Here's a little tiny buck. That was a little 4-point, little spike. Okay, I'm gonna get the gun back down here because behind the hawk.
Oh my, it's a buck.
No, I think it's a doe.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Man. Man.
Oh, it didn't stop. It's so far up there. You still can't through your scope tell what brush is in the back and what brush is in the front until they walk in front, walk by it. And by that time, like, they got to stop right there because then you don't know what brush is in front of them.
Seconds.
Yeah, you have seconds to be ready. Ron's looking at the turkeys. What is there, about a dozen of them? $15 turkeys. That's it. Ready for go get your doe.
All right. You did shoot a horse. That is a big doe.
He's hit on the other side.
Yeah, that's a big doe. Size of my foot. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah. You said, oh yeah.
That's what I was
That's
saying.
what you're saying. Its leg was like it was broken or something. Yeah.
It was broke.
Yeah, that's something. Like deformed or something. Huh. Good one. All right, we're gonna get this loaded up.
My old tree stand is right on the Boy Scout road.
Yeah.
So I come up there, there's a tree I always lean out, watch that area, and then after so long I walk the Boy Scout road down to the caves and usually I see stuff there, like that doe was just laying there on that rock. But I saw quite a few shooters, but I was waiting for the big one to come by.
Yeah. How many deer do you think you saw total?
I don't buy that.
When I was 3 buck running together, 2 buck running together, 5 doe running separate, couple individual doe, and then I saw a big buck that was running with like 7 doe, and I was wondering if it was that big 6-point because I didn't get a good look at it. But it looked beefy. It's the only thing I saw today that got my heart racing.
Huh.
But yeah, I saw quite a few.
Well, Kian, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Tell me how many you saw.
How many did you see total?
20.
20 deer?
No, that was the second time we went out.
You saw 20 the second time.
All day I've seen 20.
You see deer all day.
Like the whole entire day I've seen 20.
That's awesome. That's pretty good for being cold all the time and coming back to camp. 19 doe and 1 buck. That's really good. That's a good day. We're back here eating lasagna.
Okay. All right. Okay.
How many did you see?
18. 2 I couldn't tell, and then before I left there was an 8-point, about 3 inches above his ears. 20 yards away, I watched him walk away.
Huh. Everybody saw lots of deer, so it turned out to be a pretty good day after all. Seen lots of deer.
Great day.
Yeah.
17 turkey, a red-tailed hawk, all kind of squirrel, 35 deer, doe, and 4 were small, not shootable buck. But it was great. We had a lot of action, deer everywhere.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself today.
Yep, everybody saw some deer today. Me and Ron were the only guys that got deer. Both shot a doe, and Ron shot monster huge doe. So that is opening day 2024, and we got a lot more hunting yet to do.